Miss JoJo here, and welcome back to the Power Plant. We're going to do the part two of Pokemon Starters tier ranking, and I know that is going to get brought up. First off, crispy drink open. Why is it Eevee and Pikachu on here? We are doing mainline games, so no, let's go Pikachu, let's go Eevee. That is pretty much just Pokemon Go on the Switch. But with that being said, I did nab another guest. I found them in a trash can, and I just threw them in the RV, and we just rolled with it.
I should you.
This is our friend. I don't know what to call you on the stream.
My name is Mo. I am a marsupial.
This is Mo, and if you need writing commissions, and you're a part of our Discord, just let us know. Mo does some writing, and it's really freaking good. With that being said, Mo, you get the first nab of the next round. You have Bulbasaur, Chespin, Chikorita, Chimchar, Fennec, Froakie, uh, Grookey, Litten, Piplup, Oshawott, the seal from yeah, that thing. Quack, the duck from Paldea, Scorbunny, Snivy, Torchic, and Trico. Which one do you want to start us off with in this?
I'll take my main man, Litten.
All right. Give us your personal opinion on Litten, and then we'll bully you for it.
Litten is a feline Pokemon that actually has a pretty damn good final evolution. Incineroar. I have basically soloed Sun and Moon with Incineroar before. And its final form has an amazing type matchup of fire and dark, which means this man can absolutely tank anything. Plus, if any of you know the Pokemon Championships, he was actually in Foxley's team.
That's right. Also, I will say this: every time I've gotten a Litten, I name it John Cena.
See?
Yeah. Incineroar at one time was an absolute menace in competitive, from what I remember. He was on almost every team. Starting shot intimidate promo. Oh no.
All right, we're gonna turn Mo down just a hair.
Yeah, I'm in a store.
Yeah. But yeah, I
bought my stuff and then forgot things.
I will say this: the downside to the Incineroar line is the fairy type.
Well, actually, fire gives a resistance to fairy that cancels out the weakness to fairy
Does
from
it?
dark, so it just does normal. Yeah.
Hang on. I'm sorry.
Is,
I'm not calling you a liar, but I am gonna check.
That's fair. I've had to look up a bunch of stuff for some of these.
Incineroar, game data. Uh, week 2, fighting ground, rock, and water. You were right, Justin. I'll shut my mouth.
See?
Keep talking. I like your voice.
But the other good thing about Incineroar's line is when you get the Incineroar, its best stat is actually its attack at 115 or 115. Sorry, Call of Duty Zombies player. What do you expect? But I can't justify an S, but I can definitely justify a high A.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with a high A.
You cool with that, Mo?
I can as well, because I'm fine with that as well, because of how Incineroar currently is in competitive and is still relevant in competitive.
And his design is just fun.
Oh yeah, it is amazing.
All right.
All right, Justin, you get the next one.
Okay,
Time to bully
take
Justin.
A look. All right. Let's go from.
I just let you leave because you have yours. Yeah.
Okay, I am going to get bullied for this, but Quaxley, Gen 9 Duck Boyo.
F tier.
Oh.
I actually.
I have
I actually
PTSD
like.
from that little bastard.
I
Okay, well,
actually like.
while I understand what you're saying, Joe, but at the same time, his final evolution, which may look goofy as hell, is an amazing type matchup, type
Water
combo.
fighting.
Yes.
Yeah. And I actually really like Quacklevol's design.
My problem
I
And it
un-
fits
is
well. It fits well with the region as well, being based off of Spain, and he's a flamenco dancer, essentially.
yeah.
his design is goofy, which we're just to give you a heads up, Mo. We are not factoring in Mega, Hatsuian, or Terrestrialization.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Justin told me that because if you included Hisuian, I would have said Typhlosion, Cynical and Typhlosion should have been in S tier because of Hisuian Typhlosion.
Yeah.
Being
Uh,
fucking awesome.
the other thing is that with Quaxley's line is there is some good viable counters to him still, but if you let it get off too many aqua steps, it's got the speed advantage,
Yeah.
and that's the downside to going up against it. And it's also the downside of picking Flacoco as your starter on Scarlet and Violet because the professor has that little bastard.
Okay, but Coco, there's no thought behind those sweet, sweet eyes.
We love our weird little pepper gator.
I will always choose Skeledirge.
Oh, absolutely. But
Go there, just
I can
his baby.
justify mid A tier because again that Aqua Step, and if you give it leftovers and you run Aqua Step, you're set because it can learn Ice
Mm-hmm.
type moves to counter Grass. I'm pretty sure it can learn a couple electric. Well, it counters Fire immediately. Pretty sure
Yeah.
it can learn Bullet Punch to
Yeah.
counter the Fairy to cover your fighting type. So it just comes down to is a Goofy mine, and sometimes Goofy gets you wins. So where
Hey,
are we thinking?
I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking of mid A.
I am not putting him higher than Mudkip. He is not higher than my son.
I still can't believe you guys put Mudkip in A tier.
Blame Justin.
Like his only
I'm
major weakness is grass types.
And he can learn Ice Punch, by the way. I looked that up, Justin.
oh there.
Everyone next Mudkip.
So, Justin, do you want to reconsider
And
your
we
A?
I will think about it later. We can readjust stuff once we get everything on the board.
All right. Next up,
That's fair.
I'm going Gen 3. I'm going for KFC, aka Torchic.
S.
I'm gonna have to say something about that. I'm a fire type starter user through and through. However, I hate that fucking chicken. He was pretty good in Kalos when you got him and he had speed boost. But that's the only thing good about it was the fact that he had that gen speed boost. I fucking hate that chicken.
Would you take him to Colonel Sanders?
Bruh.
Now, Morgan.
He's overrated.
Morgan, breathe.
Meh.
While I do agree with the overhype, you do also got to look at not just that, you also got to look at that competitively. He's also one of the most commonly used as well.
Yeah. Like speed boost definitely gets him up there. And he is like a holy shit, he hits like a truck.
He was also, I'm going to say this, the first in a long line of Game Freak using fire fighting for their fire type Pokemon.
Yeah, that is
3
true.
gens in a row.
Let me pull up his stats. That way we can talk about that because I'm pulling up the base for Blaziken. Okay, Blaziken has a base of 530.
Not bad.
His lowest
Not
is
bad at
special
all.
defense and defense.
Which is very strange because usually when you have a high attacking Pokemon, you also give them like a high defense as well, so that way they can kind of tank hits, or at least a high special defense, so that way
So
they're covered on both.
physical attack is
He is
160, special is 130. Defense and special defense are both 80, along with his HP.
he is
Yeah.
very much a glass cannon.
He is a glass cannon, and if you can get him out, the other person's team could very well fall apart.
Yes, with a weakness in flying, ground, water, and psychic.
Yeah.
Which, if we look at some others in competitive, there's a lot of counters for him in competitive.
Oh, most definitely. Poplio being the biggest
Yep.
one.
Yeah.
But there is one thing I do want to bring up, and it's just one of the things that helps me. If you get your Blaziken up to level 63, you get a decent move with Brave Bird, but at the same time, you don't get stab, you don't get any kind of bonus, and you risk the recoil and then getting hit with a heavy move.
Yeah.
I believe Brave Bird doesn't miss.
Brave Bird.
No, that's Aerial Ace.
That's Aerial Ace. Thank you for correcting me.
No worries.
So I can't justify
Yeah.
higher than B, low B.
I will agree
I would
with that.
say like a mid B.
So
He-
mid to low B.
He's
better than Tenpig though, because Tenpig had the defense, but no real good justifiable attacking power.
Which was
Yeah.
very strange.
Yeah.
All right, Mo, you got you got Bulbasaur, Chespin, Chikorita, Chimchar, Fennec, Froakie, Grookey, Piplup, Oshawott, Poplio, Scorbunny, Snivy, Trico. Have we knocked out an entire gen? Hold on. I
Have
think
we?
hang on. There's yeah, we knocked out Gen 9 already. We haven't done Gen 8. What was Gen 8?
That's
Gen 8
Scorbunny.
is
Yeah, that
Gen 8 is
Sword and
Scorbunny,
Shield.
Grookey, yep, and Sobble's already on
Gen
the board.
7 was Alola. We haven't done.
Yes,
Have we not
so-
done any Alola? We haven't done any.
No,
Yeah,
we
no, we
did
hadn't.
Litten and Rowlet already.
Yeah, we did.
They're the
Gen 6 was X and Y.
yeah. The
We haven't
last
done
one
any.
for, the last one for Gen 7 is Poplio.
But yeah, you're up, Mo.
I'm gonna go with another fire type that I personally use. Let's go for Fennekin.
Fennec is in its final form gets the psychic secondary typing, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yep.
becomes I believe at the time, the first fire psychic Pokemon.
Now I love it because when Gen 8, no 7, no 6, I'll get it right eventually. Gen 6 to me was one of those gens where I had a lot of fun with it. And it was I pretty much call it the D&D region.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got
Yeah.
Chespin who becomes a souped up fighter. You got Fennec who becomes a sorcerer. You got Froakie who becomes the rogue. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
You are correct.
And Fennekin, when it came out, was very good and competitive because we had that new typing, that two type combo.
Yeah, that is true. The only drawback now is you bring a good dark type. No, Fennec's line can learn fairy type moves, correct?
Let me take a look.
I'm asking the expert here. I'm asking the possum.
I
am not that much of an expert on Fennekin. I did play through Gen 6, yes, but I played through it and then I got new games.
Delphox can learn Dazzling Gleam.
which is a really good
which is,
fairy
I
type
believe, a
move.
damaging move.
Yep.
So I can justify an A because you Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, Protect, and a good coverage move for
It's
grass type. You're golden.
it's also a bit of a physical glass cannon. Like
That's why I'm
special
saying.
defense is special defense.
Justin,
Yo,
I have a question since you have it pulled up. What
okay.
does does Delphox have the ability to learn any ghost type moves via TM?
Okay,
That is a
let's
question.
see. Um it can learn Shadow Ball by leveling up. It can learn Confuse by TM, it can learn Confuse Ray, Nightshade, Hex.
Which means it
Um
also still has good coverage
Shadow
against
Ball
some of its counters,
Shadow
like
Ball
Dark and Ghost.
again. Yeah. Yep. It does have a couple ghost type options, as well as a few dark type moves.
I would justify it as a mid to high A because the Delphox does have in its moveset good counters to the things it's weak against,
And
Yeah.
it can learn Solar Beam.
which does which deals with its water type weakness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially if you give it Sunny Day, which I do know it can learn.
Yes,
Yep.
which means Solar Beam just go automatically. It
Instant.
doesn't need to charge.
So I'm gonna say high A, higher than Litten, because it does a better job at covering its drawbacks.
It
Yeah.
does. It really does.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Even with the parting shot switch out combo with Intimidate, that would I think Delphox does a better job.
All right, all
Let's
right, him, bro.
Um, let's see.
No, you won't.
I said Bulbasaur.
You cut out.
Whoops. Okay, yeah, Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur, probably my favorite of Gen 1, actually.
Best cabbage.
Poisonous cabbage when you get a.
Bulbasaur is very useful in Gen 1 because it's a counter against the first two gyms.
Not only
Yeah.
that, once you get a Venusaur sleep powder, not only that, because Gen 1, it took for fucking ever for you to wake up from a sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you can go a step further and talk about poison powder. It can learn solar beam. It was a great mod, and in my opinion, it still holds up in some regard in the modern games when you set it up properly.
Yeah. Let's see. Stats. Oh. Base stats are um special special attack and defense 100, speed 80, defense 83, HP 80, and physical attack 82.
I can justify a high B, low A.
Yeah. There are some. It's got. Let's see. Poison powder, leech seed, synthesis, sleep powder. Like poison powder and leech seed together would be kind of gross. If you found some way to trap the opposing Pokemon in.
I will ask though, how does Venusaur do well against what it's weak to?
So
It is
the fire.
it is weak. to it's
Fire,
weak
ground.
to yeah.
I think that's it.
It's weak to fire, flying, psychic, and ice. It's normal damage by ground because the grass
Oh
cancels out the
yeah.
poison's ground
Yep.
weakness. But yeah, it is 2 times weak to flying, fire, psychic, and ice. It has 4 weaknesses, and psychic, psychic, and flying are pretty common. Ice, probably.
My question, however, was what part of Venusaur does well against what it's weak against?
Let's
Like
see.
moveset, stuff like that, and how Venusaur is in competitive.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, that's the drawback.
It can learn. I know it learns some ground type moves like bulldoze and stomping tantrum. That can counter fire.
It
Let's
can't learn
see.
any dark moves.
No, it can. It can learn knockoff, but that's not really all that great.
Well,
I mean, for knocking off
The only thing
items.
I was going to say, the only thing knockoff's really good for is knocking off items.
Yeah. Um, there's grassy terrain to give it some little healing every so often.
Mm-hmm.
Sludge bomb. Amnesia to raise its special defense. Substitute.
yeah, it really doesn't have anything end all be
It
all.
doesn't have much in the way. It doesn't have much in the way of coverage.
No, it doesn't.
So
Which
that drops
means
it down to
it's
like a
very
C.
easy. Yeah, I was going to say, because that, once you factor that in, it's not really that good.
I would say like a B, possibly a like it can be viable. It just doesn't. It's just that coverage is where it suffers.
I would agree with Joe, but I would say a high C tier.
Our first
Yeah, that's
C.
what I was gonna suggest.
All right. I got next pick. And that knocks out Gen 1, by the way. You know what? Fuck it. Hang on. You know, I'm going to throw another water type on there. We need some water type love. Let's go water types.
Yeah.
Better than fire.
That's
Oshawott.
for me.
Wait, no, I mixed them
Oshawott,
up. Hang on.
So,
Yeah, Oshawott. Because, no, I always mix up it and Piplup. Piplup, because it is the first water steel type.
And
I like
Pawleon.
Piplup.
I like.
Though, yeah, Piplup is pretty good with its water steel type. How because with the water, it blocks out the steel type's weakness to fire.
And with steel, it blocks out the water type weakness to electric. I think. Let me look. Let's see. Oh wait, it is weak to electric. It just blocks out the water grass weakness.
Which is still pretty good.
Yeah. It is weak to
Grass and
electric,
electric.
fighting, and ground.
Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Shit.
And it resists. No, wait, it's immune to poison.
It's resistant
It
to
resists
berry.
normal, flying, rock, bug, steel, water, fairy, dragon, ice, and psychic.
Yes.
It's
That
meant to
is
be a
gross.
wall.
It is a dang wall, which is pretty good. The bad thing, though, is that in Gen 4, it is technically considered hard mode.
Yeah, because
I will say this as someone playing through Pokemon Platinum right now with a Piplup. I had to over level to beat Gardenia.
Oh, damn.
but I'll say this: some notable moves that it can get are some actually freaking good moves at high level. Most notable being Wave Crash.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can get.
Stat.
It can also learn, just to rattle off a couple for coverage. You talked about the fighting type weakness, correct, Justin?
Yeah.
Disarming Voice.
Fairy type.
Yep.
Some more notable ones that can learn Triple Axle, Whirlpool, Throat Chop, Metal Sound. Fighting wise, it can also learn Vacuum Wave, Brick Break, and one of my favorite ice type moves, Avalanche.
Yeah.
This thing actually covers its ass pretty good, as well as the fact that it can learn the move
Yeah.
and endure. So even if you know your opponent's going to hit like a one turn move where it's got to heal, well, rest after the next move, that move. If you use endure, you're set up. You can learn Snowscape and increase your ice type accuracy as well.
Which would be
Yeah.
great if you have Process on your team.
It also has flying type moves like Aerial Ace to counter the fighting weakness.
It does.
And I I thought Ice Beam was in there somewhere, but oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, this thing is a beefy special attacker. It's got base stats are 84 HP, 86 attack, 88 defense, special attack 111, special defense 101, speed 60. I would say like have a priority move like Aqua Jet maybe?
Yeah, because the only
But
thing it really has going for it is its defense.
and the and its crap ton of resistances.
Yes.
Like
I
it
can
is a
justify
good
an S tier,
wall.
like a bottom S.
I wanna say it's a it the re yeah, the resistances are great. I but I also wanna say aside from special attack and defense, the rest of it is not great.
It's a great
And you're
support
going
for competitive.
or if you're trying to go like more like direct hit stuff with him, you're going to need a choice scarf to speed him up, or use priority moves like Aqua Jet, because that 60 base speed ain't that good.
Yeah.
I will say though, Empoleon did get a new ability in Gen 9.
Oh, that is let me look at it.
It is called competitive. His special attack increases by 2 stages for each of its stat stages. That's lowered by an opposing Pokemon.
Ooh.
And I will say, he is actually rarely used in competitive. I'm on the Smoggin site, by the way.
Oh. So if someone tried lowering his stats, he would just keep going up by competitive, and you just use either Choice Scarf or Aqua Jet.
And it's a wrap.
He hits like a truck at Mach 12.
Exactly. Every time you're lowering his stats, you're increasing his special defense, his special attack, which means Bubble Beam, Blizzard, Air Slash, Air Cutter, Disarming Voice, Chilling Water, Flash Cannon,
Avalanche.
and all the special moves become more powerful.
So that's why I'm saying low S.
I would agree with that.
I want to say low S, high A.
All right, Mo, you got Chespin, Chikorita, Chimchar, Froakie, Grookey, Oshawott, Poli, Scorbunny, Snivy, and Trico.
I'll go with my main man Trico. Trico was a Pokemon that I used in Gen 3
Fuck
that
Trico.
when I didn't want to use Mudkip, when I wanted to try something different. I love Trico, and that's only because Mega Sceptile, even though we're not considering Megas, looked amazing.
Yeah,
It's a
oh yeah.
monotype grass, and I played the side games. I loved him in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah. But him being the mono also gives him some drawbacks because you have to worry about those weaknesses, especially if we look at just Gen 3 and the Gen 3 remakes. There
Yeah.
is a fire type gym with Flannery and a aerial gym with I believe it's
Winona.
Winona, whatever.
The great thing though is that Sceptile has a 120 speed.
Yeah.
While its defense and its HP are lacking, his special defense is at a 105 and its attack's at 85.
That is true. And that is just and fans of the channel, that is us just looking at base level stuff. This isn't talking about IV training, EV training, breeding. This
Or
is
in maxing.
or min maxing. We are just looking at the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Plus, he can learn some moves that are actually good for him as well.
That's right, because
Yeah.
That help a bit with coverage.
because he can also
Yeah.
set up with a leech seed. And I've learned this recently. You get more health when you use Sunny Day, and then what's the healing grass type move?
Grassy terrain.
No,
No.
why can I not
Giga
think of it?
Drain. Synthesis.
Synthesis. Thank you. We were going. It's a wobbly
So-
bike ride, but we got to it eventually.
So here's the thing. Sceptile is weak to bug, fire, flying, ice, and poison. However, Sceptile does have the ability to learn Thunder Punch.
Yeah, that covers the ice weak. I mean, the flying weakness.
Mm-hmm.
He,
But I
he
don't think he
also
can learn.
learns a couple fighting moves that counter the ice weakness. Focus
He
Blast,
does.
Vacuum Wave,
There's still the
Focus
biggest
Punch,
elephant in the room,
Upper
though,
Hand.
because I don't think he learns
Fire.
any ground or water type moves.
He does.
Dig and bulldoze.
Oh, he learns bulldoze.
He also
He learns
He
bulldoze.
also learns. Oh, sorry.
Well, slap me in the ass
He
and call me
also
Mary.
learns Rock too.
Which the ground moves cover his fire type and his uh poison weakness.
He also learns Rock Tomb, which covers the fire and flying and ice weakness.
And bug. Bug is
Yeah.
weak to rock.
I mean, yeah, you throw a rock on a bug, it dies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will
can
also say though as well, his shiny looks kind of cool too. Because that blue reminds me of for alligator.
Yeah.
And he also learns Dragon Dance.
Yeah.
He does learn Dragon Dance, and he can learn quite a few dragon type moves.
So I'm cool with an A or a B. I can't justify a.
You
An
mean
S.
S?
Yeah, I can't justify an S tier.
I want to say mid to high A if we count in moves like Dragon Dance covering for his lower attack stats.
I would agree with Justin.
And I would say, wait, what are his? He's got
His abilities are Overgrowth and Unburden.
Unburden.
Which Unburden is actually kind of good because if he loses his held item for any reason, his speed goes to 240.
Okay. I can.
Oh.
All right. With that being said, I'm cool with a high A.
Yay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Where are you at? You. I just loved in the anime he constantly was sitting there with a freaking twig in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So Justin, next is your turn.
Okay, okay. Let's see. Um, let's.
And by the way, that is another gen knocked out.
All right,
Nice.
let's knock out another one. Chikorita, the Meganium line.
Ooh, okay.
The second ever grass poison starter.
No, it's Monograss.
It's monograss.
Why do I always think it?
So Meganium does have some sort of mid stats. Its HP and attack are 80 and 82 respectively. Its special attack is 83. Its speed is 80, but it has a somewhat good defense and special defense at 100 each.
Yeah,
And it does also have coverage against its weaknesses. It does learn like ancient power. It does learn bulldoze.
yeah,
It learns counter.
Yeah, another good thing about it is that you can also do some setup moves with like sleep powder, poison powder.
yeah. Leech Seed, Light Screen, Reflect,
It learns
Safe,
frenzy plant,
Safeguard.
pledge.
But at the end of the day, I like you said it best, Mo, is that the the stats are the only thing holding this thing back.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is good for it, um, is that it has the ability Leaf Guard, which if Sunny Day is active, which Meganium can learn, it is not affected by status conditions. You can't use status moves against it. That's the only thing really going for it. That and the fact that it has some good counters to its
Weaknesses.
The other thing
yeah,
the other thing I was gonna say on it is that if you realistically set up with like an EV or something with swords dance, agility, and then baton pass in, that helps it. But we're not looking at teaming it
Yeah,
up. We're looking at just this mon.
mhm.
yeah.
So I can't
Although
put it
it is
higher
a
than a B.
it I would say it's a pretty good support and has some good coverage against its weaknesses. But yeah, the stats are holding it back. I want to say a high B.
No.
I would agree with B. It does have good supports considering it can learn heal pulse.
Yeah.
and and good setup support with light screen and reflect.
So I'm going through its moveset. It actually can learn sword stance.
Yeah. All right.
Swords dance into baton pass, that could be interesting.
Uh, next up,
So yeah, I would agree B.
I'm gonna knock. I'm trying to see. Uh, you know what? Let's see if we can start a fight. Chespin. I love Chespin.
Mm,
I love him.
I like Chespin as well.
I
Especially because he get
sometimes
wound up
forget
get
Chespin exists.
especially if you give him King Shield or Spiky Shield.
Yep.
The only bad thing about Chestnut is its speed is at like a 64, but its defense is at 122,
Yeah, and
and its attack is at
Yeah.
107,
Yeah.
it's
Special defense is 75.
and its
it
special attack is 74.
Um, this guy is a physical wall and jackhammer.
And it is weak against flying, fairy, fire, ice, poison, and psychic because of the fighting type.
yeah.
Yeah, it's got a lot of weaknesses.
I will say though, I am currently going through the how can this guy learn aerial ace? Okay, apparently Chestnut can learn aerial ace.
That's neat.
It can also
Let's
learn
see.
bulldoze and dig. It can learn drain punch, focus blast, focus punch.
Okay, so the fighting type moves counter the ice weakness. Um, the ground types counter fire and poison. Let's see. Um,
I believe it does learn gyro ball and iron head and metal claw, which could go up against its fairy type weakness.
and oh, it learns rock tomb, flying
It
and
does learn rock.
ice and fire.
Well, and once again, you give this thing leech seed and spiky shield.
Yeah. Oh, and put a rocky helmet on this thing.
So are
It,
we?
however, does not have a lot of good counters. I'm going to say it to its psychic weakness. It learns bite and crunch, but it has very much not very powerful moves against dark, against psychic. Like I said, bite, crunch.
Yeah,
It
but
learns fling, but that doesn't have a power. That's not a
It
fighting
has
type move.
shadow. It has shadow claw too.
That is fair.
Shadow Claw is a devastating move when done right.
Shadow claw. Curse, which lowers its speed but increases its attack and defense.
Curse also does half its health.
That's only if it's a ghost.
Yeah, that's only if it's Ghost type.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
ghost type.
So
Curse on ghost types is completely different.
so yeah, Curse, White Herb.
However, its abilities are lacking. It only has Overgrow and Bulletproof as of Gen 9.
Yeah,
Which Bulletproof only says that it's immune to bullet moves, so like Bullet Seed.
yeah.
Bullet Siege, Shadow Ball. There's a
Where are
bunch.
we thinking?
Um, okay, Bulletproof. Oh, there's a big list here. Um, Acid Spray, Aura Sphere, Barrage, Beak Blast, Bullet Seed, Egg Bomb, Electro Ball, Energy Ball, Focus Blast, Gyro Ball, Ice Ball, Magnet Bomb, Mist Ball, Mud Bomb, Octazooka, Pollen Puff, Pyro Ball, Rock Blast, Rock Wrecker,
Holy
Searing
shit!
Shot, Seed Bomb, Syrup Bomb, Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb, Weather Ball, and Zap Cannon. That's a lot of bullets.
So
However, that is its hidden ability.
Yeah.
so I say bottom of B.
I would agree with that.
Love you.
Yeah, same.
All right, Mo.
Who do we have left?
Chinchar,
We
Froakie,
got
Grookey, Oshawott, Polly, Score Bunny, and Snivy.
Let's go for the return of the firefighting final evolution. Let's go
Okay.
with Scorbunny.
Oh, the final
no,
one. I
no,
thought.
that's you're thinking Infernape. Scorbunny and Cinderace's Mono Fire. Wait, let me look. Cinderace. Let's see. Is Cinderace? I was.
It is monofire, you're correct, but still. It should
Yeah.
have been firefighting with how it is.
Yeah, and I would have been cool with
It
that
should
one
have
being
been.
a firefighting.
Yeah, because its ability fits. Oh, wait a moment. It can technically become firefighting because of its hidden ability, Libero.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
Libero just because
It
Libero is
becomes whatever
basically
attack it.
Rodian.
Yeah, it just becomes whatever uh
Whatever type.
attack. It's gonna type it is. Its move is, yeah.
So I
And
didn't
its
do a lot of.
speed and attack are pretty good.
Yeah, and Pyro Ball's a great fucking move for it.
It is.
Yeah.
So with
Let's
that,
see.
Stats are
it's
base
a speed
stats.
demon.
Yeah, it is
It
a
is.
glass cannon. It is HP 80, attack 116, defense 75, special attack 65, special defense 75, speed 119. This is a physical sweeper.
It is, which makes sense for him. Justin, will you ramble off the fire type weaknesses, please, while I look through his moveset as of the newest
Alright.
gen?
Hey, as a mono fire type, Cinderace is weak to ground, rock, and water.
Ground, rock, and water. Okay.
Resistant to bug, steel, fire, grass, ice, and fairy.
So let's start unpacking that. Cinderace can learn Trailblaze.
Yep, that one makes him go faster, and two
Mm-hmm.
covers the water weakness because physical, and because of Libero switches him to grass type.
Yep. Which ups the which because of how Pokemon works, if you're using the same type of move as your Pokemon is, the attack is boosted.
That bonus.
Yep.
That bonus.
And because once again, Trailblaze, that covers his ground type weakness.
Yeah.
And
rock.
it's rock type. However, its amount of fighting type moves that it can learn also does really well against its rock type weakness.
Rock. And can also give some coverage against ice, dark, steel.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is a glass cannon, but Libero and its move pools do have a lot of counters to a lot of those things, including its 3 weaknesses.
And it does learn some high power moves like Flare Blitz, Focus Blast, Fire Blast, Double Edge, Blast Burn.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Overheat, and then its
You're not on
signature,
camera.
Pyro Ball.
The only thing on camera, like
Yeah.
that the camera's tracking, is my body.
It's got and it's got other moves like Smackdown to deal with flying, Substitute, Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Ball.
It can learn Electro Ball.
A little new.
Um,
It's supposed to be. It does have
see.
to be. I'm talking
And
with
it
Lord,
does
I'm talking
learn.
with-
It does also learn Scorching Sands.
ooh,
So that's. I already have. Hello.
Yes.
Sorry. Infamous Mama came in wanting a night hug.
yeah.
I say we just
it
go
can
ahead and
also
throw this
learn-
thing at S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottom of S. Well, mid S.
Also, you can be it has fling. You can be a dick. Give this thing toxic orb. Throw fling it at your opponent. Poison them.
He's got a point there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. This dude's gotta be an S.
Yeah.
And like, if someone like outspeeds him, give him a focus sash, maybe. Because
And there's not many Pokemon out there that can outspeed him.
All right, Justin.
outspeed
we got
or priority moves.
we got 6 more.
Let's see. Oh wait. We've got. Let's move away from fire for a sec. Let's go with Poplio and knock out Gen 7.
All right, so that's final evolution is Primavera, which has shit
Primarina.
speed at Primarina, thank you, which has shit speed at 60. However, its special attack is 126.
Yeah, but at the same
Yeah.
time, fuck this mon.
Yeah, we've got
Water
HP
fairy type.
HP 80, attack 74, defense 74, special attack like Mo said 126, special defense 116, speed 60. This thing is a special defense wall and a special attack powerhouse, but a bit lacking everywhere else and is a bit of a physical glass cannon. But Water
Yes.
Fairy is an interesting type combo.
Yeah, but at the
And
same
it
time,
does learn ice type moves to deal with its grass type weakness. However, it does not learn anything that can deal with its poison or electric
yeah, that's what I was about to
type
say.
weakness.
As you said, Justin.
Oh wait, it does learn a couple psychic moves. It's got
But that speed.
stored power, reflect and light screen. Let's see.
None of those deal damage.
Psychic
Yeah.
noise.
That's a decent move,
psychic-
but the accuracy is not that great on it, is it?
It's 100% accuracy, and psychic noise also inflicts heal block.
Yeah.
It is base power 75. However, there is one problem with that, Justin, and that is Primavera's liquid voice, which makes any sound based moves become water type.
Yeah, but that's a hidden ability. There's a good chance they won't have it.
That is true, but it's still something to consider.
Yeah, the poison weakness is definitely a problem.
Electric type weakness is also a problem.
And wait, is it weak?
Weak to electric.
Yeah, weak to electric, grass, poison, normal to steel because water resists steel, and that cancels out the fairy weakness to steel.
I got one move that will justify my ranking of a C.
What?
Poison Jab is a physical move.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
because its physical, its defense is at 74.
yeah, that ain't good. And
Especially if
its speed
it
is
gets
60.
hit. Yeah, especially if it gets hit, like Joe says, with a high attacking, like electric type move. That's physical, like Thunder Punch. It's going down.
Thunder Punch or Wild Charge or Supercell Slam.
Yeah, so C
Yep.
tier.
C.
Yeah.
Next up,
Yeah, I'll say C.
we got one fire type, two water types, and two grass left. I'm going to take out another water type, in my opinion, the most overhyped water type, Brokey.
Alright. Let's look up Greninja.
So Greninja has some pretty good speed. It will actually outspeed Cinderace. Its speed's at 122. Its badness, though, is its defense at a 67. Its
And-
special attack is pretty mid at 103, and its regular attack is 95. But it's got 67 in its defense. I mean, it has 3 different abilities, but one of them's only available in a special event that you can no longer get.
That is Battle Bond.
Yes, because you could only get it during the Sun and Moon special demo, which is no longer able to be downloaded because of the eShop closure. Rest in peace, Nintendo eShop for the 3DS and Wii U.
Yeah.
It does have a very interesting typing, though, right, Justin?
Water Dark.
Which means it is weak to bug, electric, fairy, fighting, and grass.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of weaknesses. But it is resistant to ghost, steel, fire, water, ice, and dark.
I will say, here is something.
And immune to
Greninja,
psychic.
Yes. Greninja can learn Ice Beam, Ice Punch, Icy Wind, and Blizzard. So that takes care of its grass type weakness.
Yeah. Um.
Bug, Electric. It can learn Acrobatics and Aerial Ace, which deals with its fighting type weakness, and it does learn moves like Extrasensory.
Yeah. And let's see. Does he learn see. He learns Gunk Shot and Sludge Wave for dealing with the fairy weakness, and Toxic Spikes to be a dick. Um.
It does learn Rock Slide and Rock Tomb to deal with the bug type.
Yeah. And even then, there is a chance of getting Protean, which is basically Libero, but a Protean came first, so it can just switch types.
Yes. And I will
It,
say with its electric type weakness, it does only learn, I'm gonna say it, one good move against it, and that's Dig.
it also has Mud Shot, but that's
Mudshot's not that powerful. Its base attack is only 55.
yeah. But it does have a chance of lowering the speed of the opponent. So if you somehow outspeed Greninja, it can help a little, maybe?
I mean, the only thing that would be good against though is Ultra Necrozma. That thing was a speed demon.
Yep. And
Mimikyu for the
it can
win.
learn some. Oh, sorry.
Go on.
It can learn some pretty tricksy setups. Rain Dance, Spikes, Toxic Spikes, U-turn to make a quick getaway.
The weirdest thing I see on its moveset is the fact that it can learn Grass Knot.
That is certainly interesting.
Yeah.
Taunt and it can learn Taunt to block out setup or stat boosts.
Joe, what is your opinion?
I I really don't have one because I wasn't the biggest fan of Froakie, and again, they overhyped him once they gave Ash one in the anime.
And then they gave him Battle Bond.
Yes.
And put him in Smash.
They put him in Smash. They
We
put
also
him in
forgot
Smash
to
Bros.
mention it's
Before
Cinderella being
Waluigi.
in Smash.
So I'm cool with like a mid B because it does have some drawbacks. But
It does.
are you cool with that, Justin?
Yeah, I would say like a mid. I would say like a mid B. What he is a he is a physical glass cannon. Well, but Lee, Protean and several setup moves can keep him around a bit longer. But yeah, I would say like a mid B.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
E. All right. I believe it is Morgan's turn to pick next.
Yep. Chimchar, Grookey, Oshawott, or Snivy.
Let's go with Grookey.
Grookey, the last of Gen 8.
All right, let's look up Rillaboom.
I wasn't the
Rillaboom,
biggest.
I believe, it's a grass fighting type. Justin, clarify.
Monograss.
Mono grass, really?
Yep.
So really, Gen Gen 8 was when they returned to monotype starters.
Yep. Let's see. Base stats. We've got 100 HP, 125 attack, 90 defense, 60 special attack, 70 special defense, and 85 speed. This thing is the grass type equivalent of a barbarian. High HP, high attack, decent ish defense. Everything else, not so great.
Justin, let's take a look at that move set.
Okay,
I'm currently away from my phone, which is why I'm asking Justin to do it.
yeah. Alright. He can learn move. He can learn. Well, branch poke is the move that he learns at like by a Grookey. It's not great. Drum beating is pretty good. Let's look at what that does. It is 80 power, 100 and 100 accuracy. Drum beating. It inflicts damage and lowers the target's speed stat. That, that is not bad.
Bad thing is it doesn't learn a move that would benefit its attack stat, which is, I would say, belly drum.
Yeah. Belly drum.
Um,
What does Noble Roar do? Let me look at that. Noble Roar. Okay. It lowers the target's attack and special attack. Let's see. It learns knockoff, uproar, screech. I'm just looking at the level up moves. It it has Trailblaze, Bulldoze, Mudshot, Stomping Tantrum, Earth Power, Earthquake, High Horsepower. It has a lot of decent-ish ground moves to deal
which
with
only really
to deal
deals with
fire,
it. Yeah, with this fire type.
fire and poison. Fire and poison.
Yeah,
Um, let's see.
we still would have
U-turn to make
bug,
a quick.
which
It learns acrobatics.
that's another weird thing. It learns acrobatics.
I mean, it is monkey. Monkey
It is,
acrobatic climb tree.
yeah.
Um,
It does learn some fighting type moves though to deal with its ice type weakness.
yeah. It learns rest and sleep talk. Hyper voice. Mega drain. Let's see.
My question though is, does it have anything that can deal with flying type weakness?
I don't. Oh, this is where Rock Tomb would be really fucking good right now.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just say
It,
C because it doesn't have anything for good coverage.
it does not learn rock tomb. It is completely open to flying attacks.
Yeah, it unless we use stuff like protect or U-turn, but or substitute, but that's mostly stalling. And
Exactly.
since we're not counting terastallizing, Terra Blast is out of the picture.
So I would say low C.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, Justin.
All right. We are we are finishing out Gen 4 with my boy, Infernape.
The only decent firefighting, in my opinion.
So the bad thing is its stats. Its base stats as Infernape is HP 76, attack 104, defense 71, special attack 104, special defense 71, its speed is 108.
It is a fast glass cannon.
And if you can get a good hit in, it goes down.
Yeah, let's see. Abilities are Blaze and hidden ability Iron Fist. Iron Fist is, let's read what
It
it
basically
does.
multiplies the effect of punching moves.
By 20,
Yes.
which has a lot. Okay. Which can actually help. It's got Bullet Punch, Comet Punch, Dizzy Punch. No, wait. Those are just a list of punches that are covered by it. Bullet Punch, Comet Punch, Dizzy Punch, Double Iron Bash, Drain Punch, Dynamic Punch, Fire Punch, Focus Punch, Hammer Arm, Ice Hammer, Ice Punch. Yeah, not all of these are learned by Infernape. It can
Yeah.
learn Thunder Punch, which is a counter to its water and flying weaknesses.
That is true. We still have the ground and psychic. Well, with the psychic weakness, it does learn like a throat punch, which is a dark type move. It learns thief.
It also, let's see, it learns thief, flame. It learns Shadow Claw too.
But that doesn't do anything against dark type moves.
Yeah. Uh, um, it has a lot of fighting to counter dark because, well, fighting type.
But we're looking at psychic, not fighting.
All right.
Not dark.
Shadow Claw would work against Psychic.
That's the only good move that it would have, though.
Shadow Claw. Let's see. Not not nasty plot. There's Lash Out. Throat Chop is a would be a good. Throat Chop is decent in power. It's 80 power, and it would block out sound and voice based moves.
So let's get to I'm going to say it, the elephant in the room. It's ground type weakness.
It can learn Sunny Day Solar Beam. It can learn. I know Grass Knot's in there. Yeah, Grass
It
Knot.
is.
So against like a heavier rock ground type, that is definitely like a heavier ground type. That's a good counter.
But those are the only two counters it has.
Yeah,
It doesn't
like
learn any water or ice type moves.
if it had
It's a punching Pokemon, and it doesn't learn Ice Punch.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Um, it, I would say like it's got good counters for most of its weaknesses. It's just the ground type that's a little scary.
So
Yeah, considering, I will say this, its strategies in competitive don't really have the ground type coverage.
Yeah. Although I would say give it an air balloon.
You were gonna say, Joe?
I liked it because it told the elite getting rid of a thick owner better than Charmander.
Yeah.
But all in all, that Blaze ability also plays a really good factor with this Pokemon in particular.
Which is kind of like the base normal move for fire type
Normal
starters.
ability for fire starters, yeah. And also, I will say, if its design and inspirations I really like. This thing is just Sun Wukong, the Pokemon. It
It
it's
really,
literally Goku.
I, yeah, I would say that too.
I would say I want
The
to give
only,
it. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, and the only thing I can really see that it would be good at in games is Gen 4's Pokeathlon because it has a 16 out of 19 total.
Yeah. I,
And most of the
I
moves we
want
mentioned that it learns is learned by TM, and that's if you can get the TM.
So I'm thinking
I
high B because it is a good mon.
yeah. I want to give it high B, low A, but yeah, that ground type weakness is a problem. Grass Knot is a Grass Knot and Sunny Day Solar Beam are decent counters, especially with its pretty high speed.
But if it goes up against, say, a fast ground type or something that's fast that knows a ground type move, or something that can take its hit,
Yeah. Like I would say give it an air balloon to make it immune to ground types for like one hit, but then you're wasting chances to use other probably better items.
there is that as well.
So yeah, I would say high B, low A.
I'd say high B.
Alrighty,
Hmm.
Mo,
Who do we have left?
Oshawott Snivy.
All right. Final two.
Let's go for Oshawa.
All right, Samurott. Okay. Samurott. Mono water.
And its abilities are Torrent and Shell Armor.
All right. Shell armor. Let's take a. No, wait. It's torrent. Wait. I was looking at the Hisuian one for sharpness. Shell armor. It prevents the Pokemon from receiving critical hits. E- Even
That's a
if
pretty good thing.
yeah, even if the move usually always lands critical hits like Frost Breath, Storm Throw, Wicked Blow, Surging Strikes, Flower Trick, etc.
The only thing it doesn't have going for it is its stats. But its stats are somewhat pretty high though, still. Its HP base stat is 95, attack 100, defense 85, special attack at 108. But then we have special defense and speed at 70 each.
Oof.
It does,
Yeah,
however, learn Ice Beam and Icy Wind to deal with its grass type weakness, as well as Avalanche and Blizzard.
and it does give some coverage against flying, which isn't a weakness, but it is a good bonus. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. It's got um oh, it also learns Mega Horn to deal with grass. Mega Horn and Fury Cutter. Um and
It
Aerial
does
Ace.
learn it does also learn Bulldoze, Dig, and Drill Run to deal with its electric type weakness. And it
Yeah,
really it's only weak to grass and electric because it's mono water. So it does have some pretty good coverage against its weaknesses.
and it has priority moves like Aqua Jet. It's got Sucker Punch. Again, Aerial Ace. TMs it can learn Brick break, bulldoze, facade if you're giving him like a toxic orb or a flame orb. Um, vacuum wave, whirlpool, flip turn for a quick switch out, substitute sword stance, X scissor for again dealing with grass. Rest and sleep talk. Smart strike, which is steel. Icy wind, avalanche, snowscape. It can learn. I know you mentioned bulldoze. There's also
Mhm.
dig.
And drill run.
Yeah. Like it has a decent amount of coverage.
And its design, it looks kind of cool.
I do enjoy its very spiky, sharp design.
Yeah.
I I want to say like
Oh, oh, got a cramp.
while
Cramp.
it's
Chat.
while some of look,
Cramp.
oof. You okay there, bro?
Yeah, just got a cramp. I'll be fine. Moving on.
Oof.
I think I should watch it go in
But
A because
yeah,
it's one I'm biased. Two, it actually has really useful moveset and it can be a tank when it needs to be.
yeah, and it's got a decent amount of coverage for all two of its weaknesses, and a good spread to handle different situations,
Yeah.
and some priority moves and other things to deal with its lower speed.
Which means we have come to our last one, which is Superior Snivy.
All right,
I
let's
hate this
take
fucking
a
mon.
look.
I'm not even going front.
It's
All
a
right,
snip.
it is the very arrogant danger noodle.
Yes. And its weaknesses are fire, ice, poison, flying, and bug.
He is
And its stats,
monograss.
and he is monograss. His stats, though, aren't particularly good except for its speed. HP, attack, and special attack are all at 75. Its defense and special defense are at 95. And its speed's at a 113.
Yes, and abilities. It has overgrow and hidden ability contrary, as in if you try to lower its stats, it raises them instead.
But if its
And it all
stats raise, it lowers them instead.
and all and this doesn't just apply to moves targeting it like from the opponent. It applies to moves that you use that would lower your own stats, like superpower or close combat. It, like normally those would lower your defense and special defense or whatever, but instead it would just knock your stats up higher.
But you also have its counterbalance, which is if you have a move that raises your stats, it will
It
then
lower.
lower your stats instead.
Yeah, so you'd have to play around that like, with your move pool if you did get one with contrary. It does have decent amount of coverage
It
ish.
knows it doesn't learn any ground type moves to deal with its fire type weakness.
Let's see. It does learn aerial ace to deal with bug. It does um
it doesn't look like any type of ice type moves to deal with its flying type weakness.
Oof. Yeah, it doesn't have super much. Light
It
Screen
doesn't.
and Reflect are good supportive.
And what about its ice type weakness or its poison weakness?
Yeah, oh god, it really doesn't. Oh, wait, it learns. Oh god, all of its psychic moves are supportive.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't really learn much in the way of coverage for its own weaknesses. Um, if you want to run the superior, you gotta be really careful. Contrary is a pretty good ability. It's just not on the best mon.
Yeah. The bad thing is Superior has only been somewhat in the competitive now because of Terror type, but we're not counting that.
Yeah,
So, are we agreeing on bottom of C?
Bottom
I
of
would
C.
What were you
I
going to
would
say?
say bottom. I would say bottom C. I would say like I would honestly say D.
I'm cool with that. Top of.
I'm fine with that too. Yeah.
All right,
'Cause
we
it
did
doesn't
it.
really have coverage
We
for
did
its
it.
weaknesses.
Hell, even when we ragged on Charizard, it still got. I would say even Charizard still has more coverage for some of its weaknesses.
Oh, it does.
Let's see.
By Sothis, it does.
Yeah, Charizard. Oh,
Yeah. So, with that being said, we love you
yeah.
guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you to Mo and Justin for coming and hanging out with me on this. Enjoy both
No
parts. Don't
problem.
forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. I will be attempting to reply to the comments best of my ability while I'm sick with pneumonia. That being said, the work whistle is blown. It's time to punch that clock and hit the house. Love you guys.